Some really interesting matches for round 2 here. Lower bracket, upper bracket, getting started here in Salt Mine Quals. Let's get into our main match though. We do have ApparentlyJack. We do have Rezears in the lobby. So let's kick things off. Oh no, I've got ApparentlyJack as Brazilian and I've got Rezears as Saudi. I almost said it right, hold on. Not quite. Not quite. Wait, where's Germany? Do we not have Germany in this overlay package? I just realized we don't have Germany. That's a bit of an omission by us. We're gonna need to get that added. Wait, am I dumb? Is Germany just not visible? I can make him the European flag. There we go. Okay, yeah, we forgot about Germany. Never mind. No Germany. But we are 1-1 here. And of course, we've got the ApparentlyJack piano music after every goal. East 1, appreciate that. He says, look what you did. You put 1v1 on the map. Deserve that standing ovation, Riyadh. I mean, I appreciate things like that, but there's been so many other people who have helped. I feel like I get too much credit for when people talk about 1v1 and Mina. I get way too much credit and other people behind the scenes don't get enough credit. So there's a big team at Salt Mine who have helped put this all together. We've got graphics guys, motion graphics, we've got in-game overlay, we've got production, we've got broadcaster, Ben coming back for main event, Terrence is working tirelessly behind the scenes, editing, whole bunch of people, and obviously I'm streaming it, talking all the time, so yeah, shout out to everybody behind the scenes, shout out to Epic Games as well for putting up 50k to the prize pool. It's not just me making this event possible. Yeah, we'll make sure that we'll get Germany added to the main event regardless of Rezears qualification. We'll make sure that we've got that ready in the future. Need to get some more mileage out of this really cool overlay because it is phenomenal. We'll have to just get the Smiv logo removed and just have a default version that we can use in the future. So Rezears is looking pretty good to kick things off here. ApparentlyJack was streaming some 1v1 ranked earlier on in the day, and I've been informed that he is reliably missing open nets, so nothing unusual there. Rezears keeping him in a tricky position. ApparentlyJack does really well. Both players actually played that extremely well. Rezears to almost get a goal and ApparentlyJack to not fall for it. Missed boost steal by ApparentlyJack. Rezears going to close the gap. He's on EU flag because we don't have a Germany flag, and I just noticed that right now. Our bad. ApparentlyJack way off target there, but it looks like Rezears expected it to be on target initially, and now he's missed the open net across the other side of the pitch. Jack was way off target with the pre-flip. The reset did put himself in a position where he could really only go for a pre-flip. Delayed shot by ApparentlyJack. Slots it perfectly. All about timing on this play from ApparentlyJack. He let the ball drop low enough that it probably started to... Yeah, you can see there Rezears slowed down. So the reason ApparentlyJack shot that late is he's trying to make Rezears think that he's going to catch the ball or just half volley it. When you wait until the ball's just about to bounce and then you volley it, you'll very often catch your opponents slowing down. Oh, what a shot by Rezears. Oh my goodness. I'll take a look at that from his POV. Perfect first touch. And the reset had a follow through as well. Flip reset into 2 more touches to send the ball top bins. The Germans in RLCS are kind of like the gatekeepers. If you want to make a LAN in Europe, you've got to beat the German team, or you've got to beat the team with the teams that have German players in them. They're usually in the running. They're usually one of the teams missing out by 1 placement, or 1 or 2 placements, few points. And Rezears is kind of like a gatekeeper of 1v1 as well. If you want to make it into a main event, you've got to usually beat Rezears. He's been one of the guys who's made a couple of top 8s in ATR Cups for 1v1 this off-season. He's still in fine form. He's not been attending all the events. He's had to miss a couple of them because he's been busy in real life, but he's still up there. He's still a threat to a player like ApparentlyJack on a day like today. But ApparentlyJack's close range reset is going to tie the game 4-4. Bit of a weird contact there that Jack got. I don't think Rezears is expecting the ball to pop up that high. Will the main event be held on LAN? No, the main event's going to be online, like last year. And the year before, and the year before. Don't think it, okay, apparently Jack did get a reset. He didn't want to use it. He didn't get a clean reset. He was not sure if that would have been a good idea to actually utilize. Great boost management here by Jack as he continues attacking. And again, slots the ball right past Rezears. We may have underestimated how much boost Jack had at his disposal here. He stole the mid, turned to challenge off the wall, and then he realized, wait a minute, Jack is still air dribbling. He's still going. Okay, he must have saved up a lot more boost than I thought. Oh yeah, I should probably mention as well, Rezears did have a loss in qualifying yesterday, but his opponent in the final round was DQ'd because somebody else was playing on their account. And I believe that that Rocket League account actually got banned from Rocket League as well, not just, we didn't just DQ them from Salt Mine, but we did check with our sources to verify whether or not the account had some suspicious activity, and they confirmed it, and the account was just banned from RL. So Rezears got put through as the winner of the other, well, the other player who made that final, and Chester was moved through to the prize money in top 16. But yeah, that's all been handled. So Rocket League community, yeah, Rezears and a bunch of other players were doing some detective work there to see what on earth is going on, because there was a 1200 account or 1300 rated account just winning against players that they shouldn't be winning versus. It just doesn't happen in 1v1. You know it's got to be suspicious. It doesn't happen in Rocket League in general. It's just not a game where you can get those kind of upsets. Too mechanical. Maybe even the most mechanical game. That was a bit of a controversial discussion a while back, and I think the Rocket League community is all unanimously in agreement that Rocket League is the most mechanical game, but the rest of the esports scene still needs some convincing, because some of them haven't played Rocket League yet, so they don't know how difficult it is. I'd say it's the most mechanical game. Probably. There are other very mechanical games, of course. More mechanical than chess. Yeah, just a little bit. Chess is obviously super mechanical as well. So it's up there with chess. So ApparentlyJack with a strong mid game, looking now to close out game one without taking any unnecessary risks. Unnecessary risk, I nearly said. Just back to the ApparentlyJack boost starve meta. Oh, he's lost control of the ball though, and now Rezears is back within two. That was a big mistake by ApparentlyJack. He had 100 boost to 0, and he just didn't play the ball. He thought Rezears would back down, and he did not. Melee's definitely more mechanical. It's not even close. I would disagree, personally. I think like Melee's obviously super mechanical, and it's a game with a lot of skill expression in it, but I don't think it's as mechanical as Rocket League. I don't think it ever could be, because it's only a 2D game. But it's obviously very mechanical. There are lots of games that are really, really mechanical. But Rocket League is almost pure mechanics. It's pure skill expression, and zero strategy, no brain. Like that's the thing about Rocket League. It's probably the dumbest community in terms of strategical understanding, and probably the dumbest community in terms of strategical capability. I think Rocket League players would struggle massively if they tried to pick up games that actually do have large strategical components. But when it comes to mechanics, I think, yeah, Rocket League is probably the top hardest game. ApparentlyJack does stabilize, and now he looks good to close out this next game and head into the next game with the advantage. That's a good recovery though by Rezears. Oh, Jack actually got shoved into recovery. That's a bit lucky, and he turns aggressively as you should. Keep the pressure on in the closing seconds. ApparentlyJack continuing to pressure Rezears in the back corner and let the clock work for him. Rezears needs a goal right now if he's going to have a chance to come back here, and he just did not quite have the boost to reach Jack with the air double bump attempt. It's game one to ApparentlyJack. Top seed in the bracket today, top seed in the qualifier, looking to make the main event, as most of us expected him to do, coming into Salt Mine Quals. Yeah, I would definitely agree that games like Melee and some other games as well, like StarCraft, for example, extremely difficult button press sequences. Like, you need to press more buttons in a quick succession in the right order. But when it comes to precision and the infinite possibility of movements that Rocket League offers, it's just a completely different level, because you're not. It's not like you're trying to press a whole bunch of buttons in the correct sequence to, you know, get a good combination on someone at the right time and get it pixel perfect, frame perfect. It's more like, okay, you need to be frame perfect with every part of your movement to just simply land on the ball and get a flip reset. Like stuff that Rocket League pros are doing, they make it look easy, and it's only when you get to a very high level in the game that you realize just how difficult it is. Because if you tried to go from nothing in like a game like Melee or StarCraft, and then you had to memorize a sequence of buttons, you need to establish the muscle memory for a combo, let's say, or for just like some kind of muscle memory sequence for your build order in a game like StarCraft. Like you can learn that a lot faster than you can learn how to get a flip reset in Rocket League. Never mind a double reset into a mid-air flick, tight angle rebound, all while saving a little bit of boost to recover with. Like, it's just a totally different level that some people will never be able to do, even if they fully dedicated themselves to it. You will not get to the point in the game where you can ever hit the double reset rebound with fluidity. But you give me StarCraft, I'll eventually be able to, I could definitely like learn a sequence. Being able to do it consistently is another thing entirely. Those games are like, I'm not saying that I could reach world champ level. No, obviously not. But I just think it's not as difficult mechanically. Someone who's played that game to a pretty high level. Now, strategically though, okay, much harder. Way harder. Like knowing all the timings, knowing all of the strategies, knowing all of the different unit compositions. Much harder than like learning how to position in Rocket League, because 99% of the time in Rocket League, you can just go for the ball as fast as possible and you're probably doing okay. You know? Like, Rocket League is so mechanical that you can just ball chase. That's why people hate ball chasers. It's because it works. If ball chasing didn't work, nobody would mind it. But it's because it works. That's why people don't like it. It's good surviving in defense there by Rezears. Counters for the first goal of the game. ApparentlyJack has been caught out a couple times in this matchup, just kind of AFKing underneath the ball while Rezears plays it. So ApparentlyJack probably has to be a bit more aggressive, anticipating Rezears going for the ball in these positions by making earlier moves on it. There he does make an early move, and it still works out to be a fantastic shot on target. You'll notice in that last attack by ApparentlyJack, if Rezears challenges early, then Jack would have got a goal by flicking early. And even if Rezears doesn't challenge early, it still leads to a top corner double jump shot. So it really illustrates the power of the early flick in 1v1. Even if you think your opponent might not be challenging, very hard for them to play the ball if you just flick it over their head, regardless. Oh, Rezears with a ground pinch. Flip reset by Rezears, and instead of trying to just catch this ball like a lot of players are these days, he just ground pinches it instead. And it has the same kind of outcome. It's been quite common these days to wave dash and shoot the ball low. But the ground pinch is an even more aggressive version of that, where you can hit the ball much harder. But that wasn't the super fast variation of the ground pinch, of course. That was using the wheels replacement. The day will come where players will just go nose down, full power ground pinch in 1v1. And hit it consistently. We're not there yet. We're nowhere near the skill ceiling in Rocket League, despite what some people might tell you. Absolutely nowhere near. Rezears muscles through ApparentlyJack, just shrugs off the trip attempt. Ties the game just inside 2 minutes. Just outside 2 minutes, I should say. That's good reading of the game there by Jack, understanding that Rezears wouldn't be able to generate enough power to threaten a shot from that distance. Now the flick coming the other way is good, but Rezears lands on the back wall. It's effective defense again. What a difference it makes. Just landing on the back wall there enabled Rezears to get to the ball before Jack could turn, and that allowed him in the follow-up to get demo, and possession, which he scores with. And there is your reason, ladies and gentlemen, why you want to land on the back wall after making saves in 1v1 especially, but just in Rocket League in general. Landing inside your net, losing all your momentum, gives possession and position for free, but if you can just land on that back wall, keep your momentum, keep coming forward, you can win back the ball. How do Jack and Rezears stack up versus new ones players these days? Oh, these guys are definitely, I mean, Jack is a tier above, I'd say, most of the time. Jack at the moment, when he's on his game, is a good match for anyone. Rezears, when he's on his game, I think he's almost, I mean, he's a good match for anyone, but he needs just somebody to have a slightly off day, and he's right there with them. I think I'd put Jack at S tier right now, and Rezears at A tier, probably. Jack won an Arm the Rebels tournament. He's beaten Nas recently. He's had good series with Moxie, Atto, a lot of the other guys who are top tier in EU right now. Rezears has not been quite as active or successful, but he's definitely up there. A tier, I'd say. Not the air dribble Jack was looking for. He does follow through with a bump, which is going to salvage the play. And Rezears fakes him out completely. 5-4. That's a huge mind game by Rezears. And the reason this works is because Jack is in a panic. He's turning. He sees Rezears up. And look at that. Rezears premeditated the mind game. He knew that he was going to jump early and then tried to stuff Jack's challenge low. Rezears are toxic. I'd put them both at A tier right now. I'd say that, you know, you're probably going to need to put Nas and Diaz as S+. They could be the S+ players at the moment. And then Jack can be S, Rezears A. But, you know, the difference between S and A is not like, it's not a huge gulf. It's definitely close, as you're seeing right now. Rezears is playing Jack extremely well. And it's not just been a mechanical peak for Rezears. He's been reading Jack's tricks, reading his mind games, challenging him pretty effectively. Now, what did Rezears go for here? This is obviously not the right play in the position. Looks like he might have been expecting Jack to try and play that a little bit lower instead of up the wall. And he was trying to dive in and take the ball away from him immediately. Jack got it too high on the wall for that to work. Woody McBride, thanks for the Prime. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're doing well. Jack using that bump to his advantage, but it is going to still be a Rezears advantage in the overall kickoff possession. Long range air dribble by Rezears. A lot of boost being invested in this attack. He needs to get something out of this, and he doesn't get too much. It's going to be a turnover possession. Jack now with the long range air dribble. Ball gets away from him. He does have the boost to recover though. Rezears chased high on the back wall. Outplays Jack in the approach, but Jack is now back in net with just under a minute to play. Delayed 50 by Jack. He's looking to go for the counter-attack straight down the middle. He was trying to bait Rezears into a boost steal, leaving his net open. Rezears didn't fall for it. Now look out for the demo though. Jack catches him on the back wall. Rezears saw it coming, but he wasn't able to get away from it all the same. And it's 6 each. Just jumped a bit too early, Rezears. He jumped up onto the back wall exactly where Jack was going to be driving. And now Jack can play for the lead with the off-the-wall aerial play. Does well with it. Rezears ceiling challenge. Jack saw it and just in the nick of time got a block on the ball. Still great turning by Rezears. Look at the speed of his recoveries. Will Jack have the confidence to go for another air play from distance? He does. It's right next to the ceiling. He's got to be careful here. Flip reset. Uses it early. It's at least gone behind Rezears. Another demo attempted. Trip as well by ApparentlyJack as he dispossesses Rezears late in the game. Both players combining to initially keep the ball up. Into overtime we go now though. In game 2. ApparentlyJack 1 game ahead. Can he double up? As kickoffs continue to go well for him. It is going to be another kickoff possession play. Jack plays it into space. Now he's got an angle in his approach as well. Fake shot. Flick. Almost goes past, but Rezears is there. Aerial shot now for Jack. Rezears again responds with an effective clear. Jack's still on the boost away though. Now he's got an open net, and he's not able to get it to go in fast enough. Rezears recovers and saves. Flip reset for Rezears on Jack's car. Demoed on the landing. It's all Jack at the end of game 2 and into overtime. Bounce dribble. Nice and low one. Keeping Rezears at bay. and slamming it top bins. That is so tough. Rezears on the respawn didn't have any opening to challenge, and that's just a perfect shot. I mean, you see there from Rezears' POV how hard it was to play that defensive sequence. The low bounce dribble, much harder to challenge than the high bounce dribble if you can see, or if your opponent can see you coming, because I mean, when do you challenge? When do you go for the ball? It feels like anytime you make a move, you're just going to get stuffed by an early shot or a flick like that. I guess it was a shot this time, but you know what I mean. The music from Jack is it is super calming, actually. I don't know if he's ever thinking of turning it on from his own audio settings. But last time I talked to him, he said that yeah, he doesn't have it turned on. Now I said this earlier on in the stream, but I'll mention it again because this will be a separate video. Check out the !TNR command in Twitch chat or the YouTube description if you want to. Head over to thenextrank.com. The course made by ApparentlyJack and myself will be dropping in just over 5 days from now, from this moment. And we're really excited to launch it. We're working on a Rocket League course for well over a year now, with over 150 videos, over 40 hours of content. And yeah, we're dropping it on the 27th of November, so exciting stuff. Long time in the making. And we're not doing a subscription model. A couple of people have been asking what's it going to be. We're not doing a subscription model. We're actually just selling it as a package for $125. Lifetime access to the current database of videos and any future editions, of which there will be many. We're hoping to get that database up to over 200 videos in the future based on what people want videos on, and also some other things that we want to make videos on. And also inevitable meta adaptations. Whenever something new comes out, we're probably going to chuck it in. Oh, what a flick by Rezears. He's launched that from way back. What's that long-range catapult called again? I was trying to think about it. Oh yeah, Trebuchet, that's the one, right? The Trebuchet. Yeah, quick Trebuchet impression there from Rezears to equalize in game 3. I think I got that right. I blanked on the name of it. Is it correct? Yeah, it is. It's good bailout on the fast aerial. Whoa, what's happened here though? Oh, Jack did well to bail out of that aerial defensive play, and then he just totally missed the ball. I mean, yeah, he's just absolutely beamed that one. Absolutely beamed it. Rezears doesn't need help like that to get quality shots into the back of the net. You gotta be putting up better defense to stop this guy. Rezears is a really creative player. He's a sneaky creative player, I'd say, because the way that he moves around the pitch, I think, lulls you into a false sense of security. He's not one of those players who's chain dashing and you know, wave dashing all over the place and like lunging around the pitch with speed flips. He just kind of navigates his way into positions, then he's like, boom, out of nowhere, double reset on your head. Sneaky mechanical is how I would describe Rezears. Air double bump attempt by Jack. Rezears with a huge save. How about that for air double bump defense? And a turnover to possession as well. Rezears already up by 2. Can he make it 3? Will it be an air double bump going the other way? He's trying it, and it's worked. Rezears saves an air double bump at one end and then lands one at the other. He didn't actually get the bump, but he forced Jack into a weird position that he couldn't actually save the ball from. Yeah, sorry about, I mentioned earlier, but yeah, realized after we started this match that we don't have the Germany flag in this overlay package. We're going to need to get it added. That was a mistake. We didn't mean to omit it, but it's not in there at the moment. Best game so far by an absolute mile for Rezears, and it's just got a little bit better as well. 5-1. That's another slight defensive mistake though by Jack. Doesn't get much distance on his initial touch. He might have been thinking about double tapping that. Getting only one touch and landing poorly is never going to work when Rezears is in position to follow up. Still a lot of time to work with, just half the game gone. Delayed flick for ApparentlyJack, and not much resistance from Rezears on that play. What was Rezears trying to defend here? Because he didn't jump, he didn't challenge. I think the delayed flick just made him think that Jack's going to bring the ball down in low 50 or something, because there's no late jump, no early jump, nothing there from Rezears to suggest that he actually expected a flick in that position. Another air double by Jack. Reset. Doesn't work out, but he does have the wave dash to recover. Perfect timing on the boost. Actually, no, not quite perfect. He has to go back for it. Oh, wow. Rezears gets the demo, and it's going to be 6-2. That'll be a bit of a weird one from Jack's POV. He was trying to demo Rezears, but Rezears actually flipped left, which changed the position of his car at the last second, and he ended up demoing Jack. So had Rezears just flipped forward or diagonally there, or stayed more in a straight line, that wouldn't have worked. But you can see his car move sideways there, so it does make sense that he would actually get the demo. Yeah, it looks a bit like a scam demo, but on second viewing, I think it makes sense, and it's pretty clear what happened there. Good save by Jack with a half flip. Not out of this game just yet. And he defeats his demons in the open net as well. A lot of you guys in chat are saying broken game, and yeah, demo doesn't make sense. To me, it looked like it made sense, to be honest. Whenever that happens, the game is pretty much telling you that the opponent was the one to drive into the side of your car, not the other way around, obviously. Jack converts on another goal. Rezears tried to bump him, and he's the one who ends up getting just kind of blocked out of the position. Still a good conversion though by Jack to not panic in that position, to just keep driving, use the boost advantage. 2-goal deficit. Jack trying to take the ball back into his corner. He's not done it successfully at all though. He sets up Rezears for 7 goals. And Jack calls next? What? Well, that is pretty surprising. I mean, he's not been winning like kickoffs too severely, but that's a super early forfeit. I'm a bit surprised by that one. Jack must be really confident that he could just win the next game from ahead, but is this some like genius sales pitch so I can keep talking about the nextrank.com, the Rocket League course coming soon, brought to you by myself and ApparentlyJack? If it is, then I'm kind of mind melding with him right now. I am shouting it out again. But full transparency, we did not plan that beforehand. We did not, I promise, definitely did not plan for this to go to Game 5 so we could steer more of you to the nextrank.com to sign up to the email list. I promise. Take my word for it, I wouldn't lie to you. Well, here we are, Game 4 though. Jack forfeited with, what was it? 1 minute and 30 to go, 3 goals down. So he must be just trying to get into a lead and doesn't feel comfortable playing from behind in this matchup. And he is behind. And it's not a good looking goal either. That's a nice finish by Rezears. Just a little backflip to pop the ball into the top corner. But yeah, clearly Jack didn't expect that. He was trying to lunge in for a challenge, and suddenly the ball's pinged over his head. And Rezears is going to try and punish him for that early forfeit. If he could just go ahead by 3 goals again, I mean, that'll just make Jack's early forfeit look a bit silly, but obviously he'd have more time to work with. But it's not looking like he's... I mean, I don't agree with the forfeit at all now. It's looking even worse. Does he just call next again? Does he call next rank.com? I should just type that in the chat anytime anybody types next. Genius marketing. That would probably cheer him up at least. I think Jack would laugh at that. He does think I'm extremely funny. He's gone on record many times saying that he thinks I'm absolutely hilarious. I'm sure he'd tell you that himself on my own, on his own channel. Anyway, Jack doesn't go behind by 3 quite yet. He's air dribbled the ball top corner to get on the board himself. No, he didn't. What do you mean? No, he didn't. Yes, he did. Where's he going here? What is Jack doing? I'm a bit confused about his play in this last game. Yeah, I don't know what he thought was going to happen there. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know what he thought was going to happen, because if Rezears was going to play for that back corner boost, you would have had to be further forward. It looked like a losing race, so I don't see a world where Rezears ever tries to flip and actually win the race to that boost, because he was behind. So Jack anticipating Rezears flipping doesn't really make sense to me. Maybe he had another play in mind. All right, we're probably going to see a forfeit from Jack here. No, but never mind. The respawn saves him from the dreaded 3-goal deficit, and he scores on the sidewall read before Rezears can get up and stop him. Yeah, Rezears a bit sluggish on that approach. Huge save there by Jack. If that went in, we would have been into Game 5 with the earliest forfeit in Rocket League history. Instead, he's back. Look how easy that was. Just wanted to point out how quickly he's scoring here. Almost as if it would be possible to come back in 90 seconds from 3 goals down. I feel like I might have seen that kind of comeback before. That being said, players are allowed to forfeit whenever they want in this match. It would be a bit suspicious if Jack just like forfeit 1-0 down. I'd be like, is there some kind of some kind of scandal going on here? Did somebody have a bet on? And are we just rigging Rocket League matches? No, I promise you, we're not actually rigging Rocket League matches. Jack, please don't forfeit down by 1 goal. That would look really bad after I've just said that. I'd have to just say no. Like, you'd say next, I'd say no. Too early. Keep playing. Oh, Jack with a follow through. That's a good bounce for him. He decided not to commit to it. And he's got Rezears in a bit of an awkward spot here. Jack again confident with a close range flick. He has been lately. Rezears is going to get a goal the other way, though. Jack's been pit maneuvered while trying to keep the pressure on the game. Yeah, vetoed. I think we're allowed to do that as the TO. I think you can veto a forfeit if you deem the forfeit to be for the wrong reasons. I haven't really had to think about that before, but yeah, now it's crossing my mind. But no, truth be told, if somebody has to forfeit, it's fine. Jory has forfeited last week, so he wasn't feeling well in NA, so yeah, he just didn't play. It's all good. Right, this could be a disaster for ApparentlyJack. He's trailing by 2 again. Rezears threatening the game win. It's a good save by Rezears. Can't defend the back corner boost. Saves the 22 that he does have. Will ApparentlyJack underestimate him? You can see Rezears tried to use that little bit of boost to surprise Jack at the final second. But it is going to be Jack with an attempt to cut the lead back to just 1 goal. Making sure to get that ball past Rezears' challenge. Didn't really care about putting it on target initially. Strong position has been established. ApparentlyJack reset over Rezears' head. That's some disciplined attacking by ApparentlyJack. Didn't go for the immediate shot on the previous aerial play and risk being challenged by Rezears, who was airborne. Just keeps it under control. Scores on the next play instead. Now Rezears from distance. He's been leading the entirety of this game. ApparentlyJack stops his reset. And saves 80 boost. That's a massive amount to have after this defensive play. I think Rezears will know that Jack's got boost, but there were potential continuations there for Jack to try and surprise Rezears with the amount of boost that he had saved. Now Rezears at 100 to low deficit. Jack's shot off the wall hits the post. Rezears saw the demo come in, jumped over it. 90 seconds to go. This is exactly the time that Jack forfeited the last game. Down by 3. Now he's down by 2 thanks to Rezears' pop bump. A kickoff goal here would be a killing blow. Can Rezears score and send us to Game 5? I feel like I made this joke about 10 times this game, and we've never had the payoff. We've never had the 3-goal lead. So, yeah, once again, we're just right back to 1. We're never going to get the payoff of this joke, it seems. It's just not going to happen. No chance for Jack to tie. And he does slot the open net. Thought for a second he might have hit the post there. I'm sure it crossed his mind as well. But we're all level. With just over a minute to play, this could be a huge win for Jack. Remember, the winner of this will have 2 chances to qualify to Salt Mine 4 main event. Upper final and lower final. The loser of this match will need to win 2 in a row. Actually, no, correction, they'll have to win 3 in a row. So it's a really different journey for the 2 players after this game. Oh, they're not trading kickoff goals. Jack's missed it. Does he have the speed in the recovery? That was a huge wave dash in the recovery by Jack to get back here. Otherwise, he would have been conceding. He might still be. Rezears half flip challenge works. And it's 8-6. I mean, Jack did have an opening on the kickoff goal. I don't think it was a bad idea to go for it. But obviously missing it is devastating. It put him in a really tricky position. 53 seconds to go. Rezears still on the comeback trail. We've been bouncing between 2-goal leads, 1-goal leads, and even a tie game. ApparentlyJack air dribble bump once again. Oh, what a save. Rezears saves his dodge to the maximum duration. And reaches around the ball to get, or reaches around Jack, sorry, to get a save on the ball. Jack's missed the boost. I don't think he realized until he'd already jumped off the wall there. Rezears, low 50, bounces off the post. Jack sticking in this one. But he's getting into the kind of time that he has to be scoring with, and it's going to be Rezears instead. There's the 3-goal advantage, and once again Jack forfeits. While down by 3. Excellent finish by Rezears. Waited for the clean chance on net and doubled it on target. Game 5. Yeah, that forfeit's looking, it's not aging well, that forfeit. You know, if Jack had just come out in game 4 and blown Rezears out of the water, it would have looked like a genius maneuver. But as things stand, I mean, look at the difference. We've got 14 shots for both players. We've got 5 saves for both players, but Rezears was simply more clinical. He just scored more of those shots. And Jack, meanwhile, was hitting crossbars and posts a little bit more often. Bezo RL, thanks for the 2-month prime. Welcome back to the channel. Let's get into game 5. A huge game 5. We can give you guys a quick update as well what's happening elsewhere in this round. I can tell you that Tempo, for the 2nd qualifier in a row, has advanced to the upper bracket final. He's taken down Nush 3-1. Tempo in fine form today. Redmob has eliminated Mozzarella, and Diaz currently has a 2-1 win over Giuk in the lower bracket. The loser of this match will play the winner of Diaz versus Giuk in this lower bracket. So we could have a huge match in lowers after this one. One where I think Diaz will be the underdog. I don't think it matters who loses this between Jack and Rezears. I'd pick either of them to beat Diaz today. Diaz has struggled in the EU server. But it's all Rezears right now. What on earth happened to Jack in his control earlier on? Rezears, for the 3rd game this series, races away to an advantage. Actually, is it even the 4th game this series? I think he did this in game 3, 4, and even game 2, Jack had to come back from behind. A full credit to Rezears. Going 2-0 down against a player like Jack and refusing to give up. Showing immense resilience in his game, and not just his in-game ability but his mental game as well. Rezears again able to get right into the play nice and early. Jack's trips are not really working too well in this matchup. Rezears seems like he's number 1 quite hard to catch out of position, but secondly very good at just rolling with the punch and continuing to recover. That's a much better outcome though by Jack. Forcing Rezears into the back corner. He had to respect the potential for Rezears having boost in that position, as again Jack gets pit maneuvered out of play. It's happened so many times this series, it seems, where Jack just ends up getting bumped as the two players collide near a 50-50. Now Jack's pop forces Rezears back. Second shot on target, saved by Rezears. Jack will still have possession, but Rezears will be right on his tail and actually forces him to leave the ball briefly there. It would be a huge upset in the EU1 scene as a whole. If Rezears wins this, then one of Rezears or Tempo will make the main event. Those are not players that were favorites coming into these quals. They were, well, especially Rezears was just on the outside of that list of favorites looking in. Tempo was way outside of it looking in. He's at a massive level up in play. But after an extended midfield back and forth, it's Jack that breaks the deadlock. 1-1. Straight spawn kickoff. We're likely to see more midfield play off of this one. Oh, is this going to be the rare kickoff goal? It is! Well, this is an extremely rare kickoff to get a goal from. And it's Rezears with the wave dash recovery as well. He didn't even need that. You just hit that ball so solidly in the middle that Jack bounced off of it. Now Rezears ceiling reset. Looking dangerous once again. Fakes him once. Tries to land on him and the ball's just bounced in. Jack didn't want to jump and get bumped out of the air, but he obviously had to jump at some point. That's so smart by Rezears. What a mix-up. A lot of players would expect, in Jack's position there, a lot of defenders would expect the attacker to try and just jump behind the ball and shoot it. Jack was waiting for Rezears to commit so that he could try to challenge him and get a favorable 50, but Rezears just goes in front of the ball instead. Oh, and now Jack's actually going to play off the bump and score. This is a bit of a weird one. It's one of those positions where bumping doesn't help. Rezears actually gave Jack the space that he needed to get a run up to take a shot. Pretty frustrating sequence here for ApparentlyJack. Sneaks behind the ball, fakes a reverse challenge. Oh, now Rezears has set him up again. He does dive back and save it. Rezears has got to be more careful though. These are some setups in favor of Jack. Once again, he centers it towards his opponent. Rezears starting to lose control. Has he just realized that now he is the favorite to win? Has that added additional pressure to him? Jack running for the boost and does make it back in time initially. It looked like it might have been a misplay, but he gets back and saves the shot and tries to scoop a counter attack on the other side of the pitch. Now it's Rezears trying to go for the counter. End-to-end stuff. Both players just racing down the middle of the pitch to try and get there. It's Jack who does to get control of the ball with the demo. Flick towards the top corner. It goes through to tie the game. These have been such close games. It really felt like Jack had to score in this sequence to keep his mental in check. It was a real struggle last game to just stop Rezears from taking leads. Every time Jack came back, Rezears would score. Now Jack is back to a tie game. Rezears into the air though. Another air dribble bump lands, and Jack does not have an answer. The air dribble bump battle is being dominated by Rezears at the moment. Thinking about all the times he's made huge saves when apparently Jack's tried to air dribble bump him. Jack's strategy's just not working. Oh, the delayed kickoff's been countered. Rezears is up by 2 again. The top seed is in trouble. Delayed kickoffs gets hard red, and Rezears puts himself ahead by a couple of goals. Can Jack counter with a kickoff goal of his own? The answer is no. He can't even get a boost off the back of it. Well, boost steal, I should say. He did get the mid. He does still have time to work with. He should not be panicking quite yet. Ceiling shot goes through, and it's a 1-goal game. It wasn't the cleanest contact, but it was good enough to easily make it before Rezears' recovery. Another delayed kickoff by Jack. That is so brave. This time he does it on the offset spawn, so it's a little bit harder to see coming. Rezears will have control in his back corner. Jack lunged in. Heavy commitment to that defensive play by Rezears to stay in a safe position. Now Jack with the air dribble bump of his own. These have not been working for him, but this one does. And it's all tied up again. Rezears unsuccessfully switches up his defensive strategy. All day he's been trying to go around the ball and then flip late to get the save. This time he tried to go over the top of the bump. And Jack was able to clip him. Leads have been so hard to come by for Jack. It's been a long, long time since he's had an advantage in any of these games. The stress this must be putting on him has to be mentioned. Threat of a bump forces Rezears out of position, but he's right back in control. Controls Jack's challenge really well. Can he center and score? Easily is the answer. Rezears sees Jack coming a mile away and drops the ball underneath him. Jack just doesn't have anything, any kind of lead to talk about. Just suffocating advantages in favor of the German. Now Jack will try and get a goal back with the exact same strategy. It's a fadeaway 50, and it works. These guys are trading air dribble bumps, they're trading fake 50s, and they are inseparable in Game 5. Rezears with the wave dash recovery kickoff. It's going to be another 100 boost play for him. Jack's up so quickly though. What a challenge. Where's the ball going? It's bouncing on target. It hits the bar. Jack's already preemptively stolen the boost away. Looking for a late lead with a delayed flick. He hits the bar again. Rezears has absolutely no boost to speak of though. Jack should be able to turn and attack here. Tries to pop the ball over Rezears. It hasn't worked, but he still has control. Rezears in a bit of trouble, it would seem, but he gets the ball into the ground. Overtime Game 5 to decide who will have 2 chances to make main event and who's going to the lower bracket. It's Rezears with the wave dash recovery kickoff, but Jack has position. Once again, first chance will be his. Another air double bump by Jack. He gets a late touch on it, but Rezears once again stops him, and Jack has to take it back to the corner. Rezears trying to deny Jack turning. I think he's done so. Wins back possession for himself. That's a heavy hit. He's going to need to be careful transitioning from the ceiling for this one. But he does so well. Oh, it's immaculate control. Rezears wins it with a phenomenal touch. I mean, that was a tricky one to get under control, but look at that sequence from the ceiling underneath the ball into the top corner. And Jack couldn't get there. It was a phenomenal comeback by Rezears. He's reverse swept ApparentlyJack to move into the upper bracket final. One of Rezears or Tempo will be qualifying to the main event. Let's take a look at that bracket right now. Nobody expected this to be a qualification match in any of the quals. With players like AppJack and Diaz in the tournament today, it's even less likely, but they're getting the job done. Rezears with a reverse sweep. I mean, that forfeit from Jack in Game 3, it has to be a talking point. I think he'll regret that, probably. I think he probably should regret that. If he doesn't, I think he probably should. I think that has to just be a mistake, to just give your opponent an easy win like that. It just probably made it seem so much easier from Rezears' POV to come back after being down 2-0 overtime in Game 2. Like, you would expect the player of AppJack's caliber to just really make Rezears work for the win. But the early forfeit is becoming a little bit more popular these days. You know, we have to say that. We do have to admit that it is becoming more popular for players to just early forfeit and then try and just come out hot in the next game. But you're running a risk of this happening. What if your opponent just comes out hot and now you're in a tie game? It's probably not the right strat. That being said, I don't know, maybe Jack's just thinking he doesn't have the stamina today, doesn't want to go into a grueling end game and thinks, right, I'm just going to try and keep this moving a bit quicker, understanding that there is more Rocket League to play. The irony there, though, is he's given himself a longer route now, because Jack's going to need to play the winner of Diaz versus Giek